Right. Well, well put. Well put. Um, One of the things that we like to ask $1 million earners like yourself is three do's and three don'ts. So you can start off any way you want. If you have one more or one less, that's fine too.
All right. Well, my three do's would be follow the system of the leader that you're working with, follow their system, and really get entrenched with what's going on with the team. I think number two would be most important is be consistent with correct activities. Network marketing can be very, very tough. It only rewards correct activities. So you can clean up your desk, you can do all sorts of things forever, and you can be learning forever. But if you don't do correct activities and you're not consistent on a daily basis, I think that, it just doesn't work. MDC equals MDC. And so, I always say that minimum daily contacts equals $1 million club. And that's a good thing to have happen. I think that the last third thing for dues would be self-improvement. Read everything you can get your hands on, learn, and listen to everything that you can, attend every event you can, and become, because this business is about becoming. It is never about just getting the skill sets, even though they are super important. You have to become, and that's about personal growth. My three don'ts. It would be, don't do it your own way. Don't be singing that song, I did it my way, because it never works. And I think never underestimate, I already said a little bit about this, but don't underestimate the learning curve. I watch people often who say, well, I'm just going to give up. I've been trying already for 2 years. And I say, well, that's kind of like the doctor quitting, medicine school at year 4 because he's not earning a huge income yet. And there's still some more learning to do and more becoming. He has to become a doctor before he can go practice. And I think the last thing is don't quit. Don't give up. Don't quit. I think that as long as you stay with it, as long as you have a good support team in place, I think you just need to stay with it and go through the lumps and bumps and make it happen.
Well, 6 great nuggets there, but the one that's pure gold is MDC equals MDC. I've never heard that before. Minimum daily contacts equals $1 million club. I'm going to pilfer that one from you. So we all know in this business, originality is concealing the source. Now, there's there seems to be, could be a bigger divide out there now. Do you build through meetings and personal contact or internet marketing, or do you do a little bit of both?
I do a little bit of both, primarily probably through warm market, more so, but I do work on the internet as well to some degree. Not a lot in terms of creating my own leads at this point. Simply don't have the time or the experience and the knowledge, the know-how to do that. But I think it's a very powerful tool, but one that has to be dealt with carefully and learned along the way.
Now, that kind of segues into the next question I have. The internet really offers some cool advantages, but it also creates some challenges. Most notably, in my experience, a very unrealistic idea of what it takes to build a large self-perpetuating organization like the one that you've built, and how long it's going to take. Those seem to be some things that people pick up online that are unrealistic. That's my opinion. What's your opinion about that?
I would agree totally, and I think, I always laugh when people say, you can get in for free, get in the lineup, and I think, well, if everybody's getting in for free, who's making money, and how's that going to happen? But that's another whole, subject as well. But I think that people have some really false assumptions, thinking that this is all just going to go out across the internet and it's going to be huge. And like everything else, it takes that one-on-one, it takes building time, it takes learning, and it takes the development of a team. There's no, I don't care if it's a football team or it's your network marketing team, there's development and coaching and learning and skills involved.
Right, right. True or false, and why? And there's no wrong or right answer here. It's just your opinion. But just like any other occupation, if we're going to be successful, we're going to need to learn some new skills.
Yes, absolutely true. And and I've said a little bit on that already, but I think, I always say to everybody that network marketing is not like anything you have ever done before, and I liken it to playing any kind of a game. If it's a card game, here's a challenge for you. Go out, play a card game, and make sure that everything you do helps the other person win while at the same time not hurting you and allowing you to be winning or successful. And so skill sets, learning curve, absolutely huge and absolutely the most important thing besides becoming and self-improvement.
Right. Yeah, I know that you're big into self-development, and I couldn't agree with you more. But my take on that is people always want to know what to do. What we try to get them to understand is you have to become someone different, and I really learned that and actually lifted that out of your material, Nuts and Bolts, which is a great series. Anyway, knowing what you know now, based on your experience, what would you do in this next 30 days if you were just starting?
Oh boy, there's so many things we wish we could go back and do as we learn this business. I think one of the first things I would do, I would connect myself up to the strongest leaders in my upline team. I would find those that were working, find those that were already successful, learn what they're doing, and get involved with them and ask for their support. Secondly, I would run. I would open the door and start running. I would not pause. I would not take the time to learn a ton of things, which seems contradictory to what we've just said. But the learning comes, and sometimes the learning comes through mistakes. I think the biggest thing is I'd get on my products, I'd hook up with my upline, and I would just talk to absolutely every person that I know with my own enthusiasm and the belief that this was my hope, this was my chance to change my life.
Right, right, beautiful, well said. So folks can get to know you a little bit better. We have a couple of obscure questions here for you, so they can get a snapshot into you, and it's just your instinct thing here. I just have some fun with it. But what's your favorite sound?
Sorry, my favorite sound?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, my favorite sounds, my chimes, my wind chimes, and the birds in the morning.
Nice.
And the waves. And the waves of the ocean.
Yeah, I'm listening to them right now. And your least favorite sound would be?
Crying, cranky children. And the dishwasher all of a sudden making very weird noises because I know I have to do something about it.
Well,
but
I do love the cranky child crying at one time, and that's when I'm on a plane where I have to make a connection someplace else. As soon as a kid starts crying, I know the plane's going to take off.
Isn't that the truth? That was my last trip home from Hawaii.
Your favorite word?
My favorite word would be inspire.
Your least favorite word?
Ugly.
Melody, in life, what turns you on?
Oh, probably the most exciting thing for me is the learning of life, the discovery, the unraveling of, curiosities of why something doesn't work. Just the whole learning, the whole opening up of life all the time.
Right. And what turns you off?
A negative, closed-minded person.
Other than network marketing, what occupation would you like to try?
Oh. I'd love to be a music producer.
And what occupation would you least or never like to try?
Nursing.
Okay. Boy, do I admire them, I'll tell you that.
I'm so glad for them, but I couldn't do it.
Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you enter the pearly gates?
Welcome back, welcome home, and proud of what you did.
Fantastic. Well, Melody Johnson, we appreciate you taking some time. Now, you're in Canada, where?
I'm just outside of Toronto, Canada.
Just outside of Toronto. So they lost Doc Holliday, but they got you. That's an upgrade for Toronto.
Yeah, I'm going to be here almost a year, another month, and it'll be a year. But loving every bit of Ontario.
Well, you're blessed in Canada. You've blessed us today. We appreciate your time, and we hope you have a great day. Thanks for sharing your insights, Melody. God bless.
Thanks, Mark. It's been great.
Okay, peace.